Now, if you ask anyone who's raced here, they'll tell you, nowhere in the world is more important to get a high qualifying position than here on the windy, chicaney, challenging streets of Monaco. We're about to set the grid for tomorrow's race, but potentially for the end of the race too. So welcome along, everyone, to the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are, so the current fastest lap, 1:11.7. Tsunoda, and just behind us are Gasly, Piastri and Senna. Fantastic, you've got pole position.
Great work, guys.
With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino that first opened in 1863. And of course, a certain road race first held in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then, is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo. And although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And it's Ayrton Senna alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Tsunoda, Russell, Oscar Piastri and Verstappen, Villeneuve, Ocon, Gasly and Mika Hakkinen, Behrman, Antonelli, Michael Schumacher, Doohan, Aaron, Colapinto, Pepe Marti and Zach O'Sullivan, Maloney, Tramnitz, Soloff and Gabriel Bortoletto rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me, a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, you know this, but this track needs a lot of downforce, and as such, we're not going to have quite the same top speed as at other circuits. The good news, though, is that it's going to make our DRS even more powerful. So try to make the most of it in the race and quali if you can. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights. Okay, DRS is now available. Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Okay, as things stand, we'll be third in the championship. Okay, start actively conserving fuel, please, or we won't be finishing today. You need to be lifting off the throttle as you approach a corner. Let the drag slow you down a bit before you start active braking. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Car behind you is Senna. Okay, they're on fresh hards. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. And there's 36 laps to go. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
Okay, mate, okay.
let's go, come on. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. First position, front of the pack. Sonoda behind. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. And that's 13 laps now until your pit window's open. Okay, you've got 25 laps to go. Pierre is in the pits. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap, 1 minute 16.3. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
Yes, sir.
You're leading the pack, that's P1. Senna behind. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Your pit window's now open, pit window is open. Okay, 12 laps. Pierre is in the pits. Your lap times are falling off now. We want you to pit for repairs. Box, box, box. Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, mate, don't worry about the damage. I've got some new strategy options if you go and check your MFD. Copy that. There seems to have been a problem attaching the front wing. We need to try and put that behind us now and finish the race strong. P6, you got P6. Okay, so gap to the leader, 16.5 seconds. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Villeneuve behind. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. Second place, you're in second place. Russell's ahead of you now. Okay, gap ahead, 8.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Senna behind. They're on old mediums. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. As things stand, we're going to be leading the championship. Gap to your teammate behind, 21.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're 8th. And the time last lap, 1:16.9. Yes, and that's a podium. Excellent drive. The whole team have worked especially hard this weekend, and that, my friend, is a fantastic reward. Well done.
I gave it everything, guys. Let's keep pushing.
Here's the
Not that we
checkered
wanted,
flag.
but still
Here's
got good
our
points.
winner. By George, he's done it. Russell wins.
Well, it all came good in the end for them, but it wasn't an easy start. Not the most straightforward of days, but I think it shows great strength in an athlete as a driver when you can overcome a day like this and walk away still with a victory.
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Sorry to disturb. Need you for a moment, please, boss?
Okay, I'll be honest. These talks have been pretty painstaking, but we're making excellent progress. There are a few details to iron out, so when you're ready, start the meeting and we'll try to smooth over any final issues ahead of a potential deal.
Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.